Hello, bankers. A very good evening to all of you. Welcome back. Welcome to JAIIB JAIIB Prep. Guys, in this particular session, we are going to discuss our final unit from AFM Module A, right? So, Module A, which where we have 11 units. So, today we are going to complete this particular module, and the final module is about your bank audit and inspections, right? So every bank, they need to prepare their final reports, and after preparation of these final reports we have to conduct audits. It is not only about the final reports, even it is also about the daily activities through the internal audits, or we have concurrent audits, or we have statutory audits, so which we can use as an evidence for any sort of cases and all, right? So in this particular session we are going to discuss these many subtopics, and very important, downside 2 marks. Sometime you will see 3 marks question based on this particular one also. Okay, so 2 to 3 marks question which you will face from this particular one, right? So unit number 11. So the basic introduction, role of audit and inspections, emergence of risk-based internal audit. This is very important again. So risk-based internal audit, which get notified by RBI in 2002 and 2021, there was some changes in this particular one, and every time we have experienced one question around this particular topic. The another topic is which you'll see in your examination, that is different types of audits, right? So then various other type of cutting. So these are the three subtopics. Maximum time, 90% time, you guys will face question around these particular one, and you have to be very careful around this thing. Okay? So in this particular session we will be covering all the like all the subtopics which are generally part of this particular one, and we will go through in detail whatever it is required for the examination, right? So guys, one thing before start this particular session, when it comes to the banking company, so banking companies, they need to prepare their final accounts as per section 29. Okay? So section 29 of BR Act, Banking Regulation Act 1949. So they need to prepare their final accounts or their final reports. Okay? And as per this particular one, basically when it comes to the final reports, so they have to prepare final reports which include profit and loss accounts and balance sheet statement. So we have form A. This we will be discussing in detail in our module B. So form A, which represent to balance sheet, and the another one is form B, which is generally comes under the which generally represent to profit and loss account, right? So in total we have 18 schedules, okay, which include note to accounts also, right? So the preparation or the format which is given by RBI in these in the section 49. So now after preparation of these particular final accounts, companies or banking companies, they need to prepare or they need to conduct audits on these particular documents. When it comes to audit, so audit is generally conducted as per the your section 30 subsection 1. Okay, so as per this we have to conduct audit on these particular one as well as others. Okay, when it comes to special audit, okay, so when it comes to special audit, that is generally get conducted on like under section 30 subsection 1 subsection B, right? When it comes to inspections on these particular documents and others, so that generally defined under section 35. Sometimes some banking companies, they went for liquidations as per the recommendation of governments, or when they are like RBI made some sort of decision around these particular one, that is comes under section 38. We will be discussing all these particular one in our module B. But this is something like when it comes to the audits things, it can be internal or it can be external. Okay, so now when we are conducting audit around these particular one, so this can be statutory, or this can be your internal, or even while we prepare these particular documents or on our day-to-day transactions, we have concurrent audits and others. They are generally part of the regular, like we can say, regular checks or the regular ticks and all, right? So we have like the motive, the ultimate motive is to prevent bank from any sort of financial risk. So their book should sounds in a right manner, right? So whatever their book show kind of the actual position of that particular bank, and we can eliminate any sort of malpractices which is going on in the branches or even at the bank level also, right? So section 29, which generally mandate the audit things, and section 30 subsection 1, which generally comes around the your like audit related things or the special audits which is conducted by RBI, and even the expense is also borne by the bank itself, right? So sometime when RBI in some sort of spacious about any bank or any segment of that particular bank, so they can conduct inspections of that particular bank under section 35 of BR Act. So section 30 subsection 1 subsection B, section 30 subsection 1 is related to audit and inspections, which generally comes under section 35. Okay. So this is a format, like this is form A, performa balance sheet, and this is form B, performa profit and loss account. Okay. When we'll come to the final accounts of a banking company, we will be discussing these particular thing in detail. Okay. Though, like if you open your book, so these are not part of this particular unit, means unit 11. I'm just giving you an idea so that you guys can be familiar with this one. Okay. So this is a format of balance sheet which include 12 schedules, 5 schedules which belongs to capital and liabilities, remaining 6 आपका sorry 6 to 12 which generally belongs to assets. When it comes to profit and loss account, so your profit, which is like income minus expenditure, income 13 and 14, expenditure 15 and 16. 17 is your the overall profit and loss account after all adjustment. After that, you will see one another documents which is generally known as note to accounts. Okay? So in that particular one, we generally provide some sort of let's say when it is capital. So the further bifurcation of that capital, or let's say if there is investment, okay, so investment related disclosures will be part of that particular one. We will be going through these particular one in detail, right? So there is nothing like we do not have any direct link, but just I just want to make a link so you can like where this audit is required in others, and even like if there is any malpractices which is like conducted by bank or by the auditors. So chapter 5 of RBI Act, they have some sort of provisioning for like it's a criminal offense. There can be a imprisonment of 3 years as well as the monetary penalties. Okay? So these are the things which we will be covering. But audit is something which is something related to our, like we also used to cross check our daily transactions. That is also named as audit, and which is internal audit. We have concurrent audits on the transactions which can be quarterly or monthly basis by the external auditors like CAs and others. We do have statutory audits which is done by the, like how we are meeting with the compliances, if is there any breaches of compliances and all, so they generally comes under this one, right? So now first we will be discussing the basics of audits and all. Again, what is audit important, then the most important part, as I told you, that internal risk based audit system, then आपका types of audit, then we will be practicing a set of questions. Okay? So even the banking companies, after preparation of their final reports, means these, we need signature from at least 3 directors. After their signatories and all, we generally conduct audit, and we have to submit 3 copies of balance sheet, 3 copies of profit and loss account with RBI within 3 months from the end of respective financial year. That means 31st March is the end, April, May, June. So before the end of June, you have to submit 3 copies of balance sheet and profit and loss account along with auditor's report with RBI. So this is generally mentioned here, right? So section 30, which is deal with the audit things and all. Okay. So now this is from here basic. Actually, your this unit 11 content start from this particular one. Okay. So role of audit and inspections. So when it comes to audit, like it is a kind of a verification. So like if we are if let's say we have prepared the final accounts, and if there is no audit on those particular documents by the externals, so there will be some sort of, there are chances of malpractices, right? So if we will not cross verify those particular one, there will be always some doubt in the mind of the stakeholders. So to resolve those particular one, or even by the regulatory bodies also, so to resolve those particular one, we generally conduct audits in our businesses, or it is as simple as that, as we conduct audit for a business. Similarly here also, the bank, they are generally dealing with number of customers and also we should have a fairness in the business and also that generally get tested through these particular one. So focus, like when it comes to shift in objective, earlier it was around the verifying arithmetical accuracy to ensure fair representation of financial effort too. Now it is checking if accounts are true and fair and not just true and correct, right? So this is something which we generally change. Technological advancement which generally provides some sort of aid. Use of computers in auditing has grown significantly. Rise in data analytics importance due to technological growth and emergence. And even like we have information audit also. So with the help of these particular one, we sometimes we like, let's say we have adopted one software to do the regular transactions and all. Okay? Like we use bankers or that Infosys one. Okay? So bankers is by TCS, Infosys one. I just missed that name. Okay? So basically, we are using these particular, whatever technology we have employed that is relevant or not. That also we conduct the research and all. On all these technologies, they generally work on automations. Okay? So computer aid audit techniques, CAATs. So CAATs enhance efficiency and effectiveness of audit, because like see, you do not have to go through each and every transactions. If you want like n number of reports around the different dimensions, so that can be generated through the computerized accounting and all. Though data is computerized, the scope and objective of audit remain unchanged. Audit procedures now include understanding internal control and working in a computerized environment. So for that one, we have information technology audit also. Okay. Limitations: auditor can only provide an opinion, relying on other for the explanation. Let's say, as I gave you an example of that section like special audit. After special audit, let's say there is some report which is presented by auditors. That report will go to RBI or even the government of India, Ministry of Finance. Based on that particular one, they can make a decision. Your bank is like, you are not going to take transactions or deposit from customer for next 6 months, or we suggest a liquidation on this particular bank. But before that, we will give chance to the bank to represent their viewpoints, what is their plan, how they are going to overcome with these particular problems and all. Okay? And eventually, auditors, they are providing some sort of insights about the legalities and others. The decision maker are eventually the regulatory bodies or the government itself, right? So the interpretation parts and all. Not all transaction or non-monetary factors can be examined in this particular one, because like on daily basis we used to do number of transactions. Okay? So that's why we have kept some sort of like that loan review mechanism system, which generally mandated for the accounts or the assets which worth more than 5 crore rupees in all, okay, since 2013 itself. So purpose of audits: provide scientific view of books of accounts, ensure accurate depictions of financial statements, confirm compliance with regulatory provisions. So these are some core objectives or purpose of your audit things. I know like this is completely theoretical and all. Okay. So now this is very important, guys. Risk-based internal audits. So risk-based internal audit, this is something which is very important, and this get asked so many times for 1 marks or half marks, or 2 marks also. So traditional versus modern internal audit historically focus on transaction testing and verifying accuracy, or trying to achieve the arithmetical accuracy of debit and credits in the overall bank, reliability and compliance. Now expanded to assess the adequacy and effectiveness of risk management. Okay? So how we are going to handle any sort of risk which can be part of our banking business, and the internal control. Okay? So what type of risk we might face or we may face in the near future, and how we are going to tackle those particular ones, okay? And what compliances need to be fulfilled to handle those particular things and all. So for that one, there are so many regulatory compliances, and even by bank also they do have so many provisions and all, right? So introduction of risk-based internal audit. RBI introduced this particular one in 2000, December 27, 2002, Scheduled Commercial Bank by a circular this. So further strengthening through the another circular in January 7, 2021. Okay? Framework and objective. Risk-based internal audit is based on well-defined policy, independence, communication channels, and professional compliances. Basically, we do have a proper risk management frameworks for this particular one. Emphasis the auditor's role in risk identification, prioritization, and mitigations. Aim to ensure that appropriate control are in place to manage emerging risk. Okay, so as I told you, right, we do have a risk management framework. So this framework, which includes so many things like आपका organization for risk management, which is led by board of directors. So any policy toward this particular things should be part of the board approvals policy. And apart from this, like we have risk management committee, we have asset liability management committee, we have even segment wise market risk management, liquidity risk management, your credit risk management. So these are the different committees which are generally working toward this particular one. So we can achieve a common goal, and we can deal with any sort of uncertainty. Like when that uncertainty become reality, that is risk. So we can effectively handle that particular one through our risk management plans and all. So that is something which is the objective of this particular one, right? So RBI guidelines when it comes to, so internal audit must evaluate risk management and internal control system, and for effectiveness and regulatory compliances team. So it is something we do have so many guidelines which are given by the statutory body or the regulatory body, which is RBI. So the fulfillment of those particular compliances, as well as every bank, they do have their own system to manage these kind of risk and all. So adherence to these particular one, and how our bank is meeting those particular guidelines effectively, that generally you have to make sure. And being an auditor, you have to conduct your audit should align with those particular guidelines and all. Provide assurance to the board of directors and senior management about the quality of internal system also, right? So features of this: focus on auditing the management of risk, not just the risk themselves. Move like it is not only about risk, like they are not telling about the what can be the expected uncertainties. They are also telling you, or the system is also helping you to build a plan B to mitigate those particular ones. Okay? So we have stress testing and others. There are so many tools which generally get involved in this. Move beyond just transaction label testing to strategic risk-based auditing. Involve corporate level and branch level risk assessment, monitoring and control also. So we have integrated system. If anything happening at any small branch also, so that things should get escalated through your MIS. So significance crucial for the modern banking operations. Enhance governance, control and risk response. Support informed decision making by the bank leaderships and all. So this is something which is all about your internal risk-based management, just risk-based internal audits, which are generally part of this. RBI guidelines on internal audit functions in bank under the risk-based internal audit framework to align the internal audits functions with the international best practices. which are usually launched by the BCBS or Basel norms. RBI has issued comprehensive instructions like authority, stature, and independence. Okay? So internal audit must have adequate authority, independence, and resources to conduct these kind of activities in the branches. The head of internal audit should be a senior executive with independent judgment and full access to record and staff. So if they want to conduct research audits in any area, so they should have that much of power. They should have access to that information, so they can conduct those kind of research, like freely manner. Yeah. So HIA and the audit team. HIA means Head of Internal Audits, and the audit teams must operate with complete objectivity. What they want to what they want to achieve from that particular audit, that should be properly defined and documented. Competence. So internal auditors must possess professional competence and relevant experience. Let's say if a person is conducting research on our trading book, so they must have some sort of knowledge around that particular trading book, which is like the where basically bank deal in forex or the other different securities, buy and selling. The skill should include knowledge of banking operation, IT, data analytics, and fraud detections. So audit staff must be capable of auditing all areas of the bank itself. Next one, staff rotation. Okay, so this is something which help auditors to develop their different expertise. If a person, let's say, they were working on one project, after completion, it is generally suggested to move them to other project, and also they can build their expertise and they can know the things at ground level. So they can make sound decision in the while they are conducting those kind of activities. Staff in internal audit should serve minimum period as prescribed by the board itself. Career auditors should manage the functions. Lateral staff may be rotated only if suitability skills and all taken. So dedicated peoples, they should move frequently, and like a normal staff, that is depend on their skills and choices. Tenure of appointment of head of internal auditors should be appointed for reasonably long term. Then preferably minimum for 3 years to ensure stability. Reporting line, HIA should report directly to your audit committee of the board or MD or CEO or WTD. Okay, so this is something like as their role is very important. So that's why we are aligning their reporting to the head of that particular bank. So like they can easily escalate the things if anything going wrong in the bank itself. If MD and CEO or WTD is reporting authority, appraisal and review should still with the ACB and the board itself. Okay? Audit committee of the board or the entire board itself. All right. Remuneration, if it comes to the remuneration, compensation must not be linked with to the performance of business audit. Like see, if you link their compensation or their remuneration with the business audit, how many times they are conducting audits, or how quickly they are doing that particular one. So there will be some personal interest in that particular one. So they have clearly defined this, key their remuneration should be fixed, like you will get this much of things. You do one audit or 100 audits. Okay? So that is something. Otherwise, like if you give them target and all to achieve those targets to earn more, there are some chances of loopholes. So remuneration should avoid conflict of interest and ensure independence and objectivity. Outsourcing, internal audit cannot be outsourced, but for concurrent and IT audit, we can outsource these one. Okay? External expert can be hired contractually with ABC's assurance of independence. Ownership of audit report stay with the bank itself. Okay? So you do not have to share in the public and others. So that is something this. Okay? So this is something which is all about your internal risk based approach, and which is like nowadays like most of the time you'll see question around this particular what type of question they have been asked in the past, that I'll show you. But before that, the second most important thing from this one is type of bank audit. Okay? So many times you'll see question around this, especially around these three areas: concurrent audits, internal audit or information system audit, and statutory audit, right? So these three type of audits, maximum time you'll see. Apart from this also, we have some other type of audit like forensic audits and others that we'll also discuss, right? So concurrent, internal audit, and statutory audit. So first, let's start with the concurrent audit. So concurrent audit is basically, it is something or somewhere around the regular activities of that particular bank. Let's say we are doing on regular basis, we are accepting deposit, we are granting loans, we are entering in some forward contracts and others, the day-to-day activities of the business itself. Okay. So now with the help of some external auditors, we conduct some sort of audit on those particular transactions. It is not necessarily that we are conducting transaction on all the activities, but like somewhere like where the value is high or where the risk probability is high. So in those particular cases, with the help of CAs and others, we are generally going to conduct audits on these particular one. So concurrent audit is a real time or near real time examination of transactions as they occur, and it is something like it can be internal or external. Okay, so like it is that your daily review of your transaction is also part of internal. Like let's say 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. we did so many transactions. At the back end, we are like after 4 p.m. we are verifying those particular transactions. That is also part of your concurrent audit. So we are making some transaction, then we are checking that particular one. So purpose to reduce the gap between the transaction and its review, enhancing timely detection of issues. Nature, it is continuous year-bound audit, usually performed monthly by the external auditors, and they are mostly आपका CA or anyone who is designated to conduct the audit itself. Focus areas, daily basic transactions are checked. Emphasis on the substantive checking in key areas rather than mere test checking. So it is something like if it is done by the internal person or a branch person or staff, they generally cross checking their daily transactions and not or that maker checker relationship. And when in some cases where transaction value is high or the risk involvement is high, so that is done by the like on monthly or quarterly basis, done by the external auditors also. Benefit, early identification and rectification of irregularities or non conformities, prevent accumulation of issues that could be problematic during the year-end audits and all. So let's say we are like if there are some small or if there are lag in some business activities, so we can fix those particular problems on concurrent basis or on daily basis and all, right? Scope, auditor ensure compliance with cash balances limit, KYC norms, loan documentations, and RBI instructions. So these are some major areas. They also export expectations in the concurrent audit reports. So this is the one. Okay? They give some notes. These are the expectations, or this is the way which by which we can improvise those particular areas, or we can enhance the utilization of resources or anything else, right? So this is something which is generally comes under this one. Objective, help the branch function smoothly by minimizing and correcting the errors, prevent cascading issues due to unresolved inequalities and all. Okay? So irregularities and all. So this is something the primary objective of this particular one, right? So concurrent audits आपका. So RBI guidelines on concurrent audit system in commercial bank. So RBI has revised the guidelines on concurrent audit system bank by a notification, which is this is the number dated 18th of September 2019. Concurrent audit aim at shortening the interval between transaction and its independent examination. It is therefore integral to the establishment of sound internal accounting function and effective control, and regarded as a part of bank early warning system to ensure timely detection of serious errors and irregularities. It is something like let's say while let's say there are some new employees in the organization. while they are doing some sort of documentation, they are missing one important documents. So we can we can correct these kind of irregularities while they are doing some sort of transactions. If there is some problems or loopholes, so we can fix those particular problems as well. Okay. The revised guidelines cover coverage of this internal audit, appointment of auditors, accountability, tenure, remuneration, and review of effectiveness of concurrent audits and reporting system. So these are generally part of this particular one. And they did not have explained this particular one. So internal audit. So basically conducted the another second type of audit. It is done by the internal staff only, right? Internal audit, which is done by the internal staff. So conducted mostly by bank staff and sometimes by the chartered accountants. Aim to ensure accuracy and correctness of the bank financial records. Importance: build public trust by ensuring that bank handle depositors' funds responsibly. A key function is fraud detection, along with the identifying errors, omission, and irregularities. Relevance: due to widespread fraud in the banking sector, public, private, foreign. Internal audits must focus heavily on fraud detections. So this is their core area of the working. Liberalize economic policies and evolving banking dynamics have made internal audit a critical tool for the bank itself. So uses: many banks now conduct internal audit along with or instead of concurrent audits to strengthen the overall control. So key aspect which include these many areas. Pehla, role in bank governance, contribution to risk management effectiveness, which is linked with your risk-based internal audit. Execution of risk-based internal audit procedures. Importance in overall risk management, use of non-financial data analysis for evaluation, adherence to auditing and assurance standards. They generally comes under this one. Okay? Information system, the final audit आपका, ठीक है. So need of information system audit. So we are like nowadays we are working on the technology. So how effectively we are using that particular one and how much you can rely on that particular technology or how much that technology is reliable. Okay? So these kind of things we generally get covered under this particular one. Okay? So with increased technology adoption in banking, IT related risks have grown, cyber frauds and others. Okay? So complex IT environment demand effective risk management. So to provide assurance to RBI and bank management on the effectiveness of internal IT control, offer independent and objective evaluation of how well risks are managed. So scope of IS audit, which include आपका safeguard assets, ठीक है, hardware, softwares, data, using appropriate security measures, ठीक है, which is your password or the authority to access those particular one and all. Maintain data integrity, so we can use that particular one for the decision making. Help achieve organizational goal. Utilize system resources effectively. ठीक है, what like the uses of those particular resources and all that generally comes under this. So IS audit impact on internal audit functions. It also support the overall internal audit as well. So internal audit department are evolving due to automation and tech-enabled processes. IS audit have become increasingly important in modern audit framework because, like, let's say if they need any sort of report, so by this automation things or by this computerization or electronic things, so we can easily generate those particular report as well, right? Regulatory direction, RBI, 30th April 2004 guidelines. So there should be a periodic system audits of hardware, software effectiveness, required operational आपका changes and security compliances standards should be fulfilled by the bank itself under this particular audit. Okay? So Reserve Bank of India guidelines on information system audits. Okay? So where we have RBI has been taking many initiative in sensitizing bank to the risk and concern that emergence from the adoption of information audits. Various committees report instructions and circulars have been this like this. So basically when it comes to 2001 report, it is The guidelines cover the following areas: information technology governance, information security, information system audit, information technology operation, information technology services, outsourcing, cyber fraud, business continuity planning or your plan B in case of any sort of failures and all, customer awareness programs and legal aspect. So these are some major dimensions around which we have to conduct our IT audits and all. Okay, so scope of IS आपका information system audit, ठीक है, determining effectiveness of planning and oversight of IT activities, evaluating adequacy of operation process and internal control, determining the adequacy of enterprise-wide compliances effort related to IT policies and internal control procedures, identifying deficient control, recommend corrective actions to address deficiencies and follow up, and to ensure that management effectively implement the required action. So these are some goal or objectives of IT IS audits and all, so which you have to remember. Okay. The apart from this, the next one is statutory audit. Statutory audit, which is generally used like, which is like something related to compliances, or they can be used as a like forensic evidence and all. Okay. So let's say if there are some guidelines from the RBI, so how that bank is meeting with those particular guidelines or by any other regulatory authority. So this is something related to legality of that particular one. So mandated under Banking Regulation Act 1949, require annual financial statement, which is profit and loss, and your balance sheet to be audited as per the legal status. This I have told you in the beginning also. Again, Section 29 of BR Act 1949. So you have to prepare your accounts as per this, and as per the section 13 subsection 1, you have to conduct audit on these particular final reports. Okay? So basically they are kind of a must thing. Okay? So bank, they need to before publishing those particular document, they have to conduct this particular one, so they can make sure that everything is aligned with the laws. So silent feature, mandated by law, conducted by statutory auditors, meaning it is compulsory under law. Section 30 of BR Act, Banking Regulation Act 1949, make it mandatory for bank to get their profit and loss account and balance sheet audited. Importance, independence audit support a safe and sound banking system. Does not go into detailed banking transactions. We'll use our previous audit reports and all, internal, concurrents and other reports. We will use IT reports. Then based on those particular one, we'll do this. Okay? Concurrent and internal audits relies on their report and perform test check. Okay? Focus areas, loan and advances or the major assets which are generally created by bank, or even the KYC and other guidelines also. So stages in statutory audit. So there are 17 stages which is mentioned in your book itself. So these are the stages, right? Initial consideration by the auditors, identifying and assessing material misstatements. Material misstatement means, let's say there is a debit of 1 lakh and credit of 50,000. So there is a gap. Okay? So why this gap? Or even the other things also. Okay? Anything which is related to money. So understanding risk management process of the bank, team engagement and discussion, establishing overall audit strategy, developing the audit plan, preparing audit planning memorandum, determining audit materiality, assessing going concern assumptions, assessing fraud risk, including money laundering, evaluating specific risk, reviewing outsourcing risk, responding to risk, checking conformity with the Basel III guidelines, reliance on other reports, classification of NPAs based on recovery record, asset classification should borrower wise, not the facility wise, because these are the areas. You do not have to remember all these particular one. This is just generally, this is the entire process of which generally comes under your auditors statutory audit reports and all. Okay? These are the areas, or this is the flow by which they generally conduct the different research in our bank itself, right? Other apart from these, some other type of audits which are also given in this, like revenue audit. They are very simple. Yeah. So focus on identifying interest and charges leakage in the large to medium branches. Again, let's say there is a huge gap. Earlier there was the earning was, let's say, 50 crores per month. Now it came to 30 crores. So what is the reason? Or even like what are the areas where we are lacking in others, these kind of things. Stock and receivable audit, again, so it is about around the inventory. Involve periodic check by the professionals on stock and debt statements of large borrowers. Forensic audit, examining financial information for evidence of fraud, and which we can present to the court in case of any default and all. Management audit, assessing management methods, policies and efficiency to ensure objectives are met. So how effectively we are using resources and all. Tax audit, analyze tax return to validate tax payments and compliances. Okay? So these are some additional kind of audits which are generally get conducted in the banking business. So when it comes to entire audit things, so we have two different areas. One is statutory audit, which is something around the where we have the defined rules regulation about the presentation and about the audit things and all, which is the final one. But before that, on our day-to-day basis activities in our branch level or at the bank level, we do have concurrent internal or this, like nowadays banking businesses IT driven. So we also checking that particular area, so we can have some sort of reliance on the business or on the system itself, right? So now we will be practicing some questions. Consider the following statement about the auditing and you have to find out the correct statement. The banking sector audit is exempted from regulatory norms and RBI guidelines. First itself wrong. They are part of this one. Internal control system in bank are vital due to high transaction volumes and associated risk. 100% true. In modern auditing, there is a paradigm shift from ticks to clicks. So this ticks to clicks means आपका, this is also true. So earlier it was around the arithmetical accuracy, but now it is around the overall management of risk management and all. So 2 and 3, B should be right answer for this particular one. So banking audit must follow RBI guidelines and regulations. Next one. Identify which of the following statement about risk-based internal audit are correct. So risk-based internal audit was introduced by RBI in Scheduled Commercial Bank by a circular dated December 27, 2002. First statement, again, which is what we have to find out, are correct. So first statement is true. So 2002. Then there was in some amendments in 2021. Okay, some additions. So RBI, you're in risk-based internal audits. So risk-based internal audit primarily focus on auditing risk, not the management risk. No, it is both identification as well as the management. So this statement is wrong. The head of internal audit HIA should report directly to audit committee of the board or MD and CEO. This 100% true. Internal audit staff remuneration should be linked to financial performance. No, it should not link to this particular one, right? So this is also wrong. So 1 and 3. 1 and 3 means option B will be right answer for this particular one, right? So linking remuneration to business performance create conflict of interest. So whenever I create question, I always align things with your book so that you can, like these exact line you'll see in your book also. So, and even in examination also. So like they are not going to reframe or change those particular statement and all. So you can easily recall those one. Okay? So these two were wrong. Next one. Identify which of the following statement about one more statement around the RBIA. So RBIA encouraged internal auditors to conduct full-scale transaction testing at branches at all branches encourage internal auditors to conduct full-scale transaction testing. No, it is not suggested in RBIA. What we have to find out correct statement here. The internal audit function should possess skill like IT, data and others, forensic investigation, 100% true. The internal audit function may be outsourced entirely if approved by the board audit आपका ठीक है. So not entirely, ठीक है. It is not suggested entirely. Bank are encouraged to align their internal audit practices with international standard, 100% true. RBIA assess risk not just at the branch level, but also at the corporate and enterprise level, 100% true, right? So 245 means option B should be right answer for this particular one. Correct? Hai? Let's move forward, guys. Identify which of the following statement about concurrent audits are correct. Okay, now the question is around concurrent, and you'll see more and more questions. Two set are already there. I'll upload one third set also. I'm working on that particular one, and I am preparing one a practice book for all of you. Like as I have provided you that content book, so one practice book will be there, so you guys can practice very well. So identify following statement about the concurrent audit. It is usually conducted by internal staff on a quarterly basis. So usually when it comes to concurrent audit, majorly it is done by the external. So this is wrong. It helps in detecting irregularities and rectify them immediately, 100% true. It emphasizes test checking over substantive checking. It help substantive checking rest compared to this is also wrong. So what we have to find out correct statement. Only two means D should be right answer for this one. Okay. So the audit emphasis substantive checking, not just the test checking, and the rest of statements were correct. Next one. Identify which of the following statement about concurrent audits. So one more question around the concurrent audits, guys. So first, it include verification of compliances with RBI and cash balances limits. It include verification of compliances with RBI. Yes, it act as an early warning system to prevent fraud. This is also correct. So both are correct. Here, both are correct means option C will be right answer for this one. Next one. Consider the following statement regarding internal audit and information system audit in bank. Internal audit and information system audit in bank. Internal audit in bank is only conducted by internal firm, not by the external firm, not by the bank staff. No, it can be done by both internal as well as external. Wrong. The another one is one of the key objective of internal audit is detection of fraud. True. IS audit ensure the achievement of organizational goal through effective use of IT resources. True. So 2 and 3 means option B will be right answer for this particular one. Okay. Next one. Statement about one another question around the internal audit and information system, and you have to find out the correct statement. The risk-based internal audit played no role in governance or risk management. It seems clearly wrong. Computer-assisted audit techniques can be used for detecting revenue leakage and AML monitoring. Computer assisted auditing techniques can be used for detecting revenue. No, I think it should be wrong. Okay. RBI, I'll recheck this one. RBI has issued guidelines covering IT governance, cyber fraud, and business continuity planning. 100% true. This is true. IS audit is one-time activity and does not require continuous approach. No, it does. This is also wrong. Next one, आपका okay. Computer assisted this can be used for can be used. Okay, it should be right. Sorry. So it is also right, guys. So this is also correct. So means 2 and 3. No. Okay, C should be right answer then. Okay, this is given in a reverse way. So C, yes, C is the right. So statement 2 and 3 are right. One is risk-based internal audit does not support risk management and governance. Fourth one is आपका IS audit should be continuous, especially in critical areas. Which of the following statement regarding the statutory audit of bank are correct? Statutory audit, so you have to find out the correct statement related to statutory audits in bank. Okay? So what will be your correct answer? This one. So statutory audits are mandated by law under Section 30 of BR Act 1949. 100% true. The auditor of bank require to examine the intricacies of daily functioning. No, daily is not there here during the statutory audit. The statutory audit primarily focus on reviewing loan and advances. Yes. So see, this is something like intricacies of daily banking transactions does not get audited by the in case of this statutory audit. This is based on your existing audit reports and all, and it is mainly around these particular things, right? So 1 in 3 means option C will be right answer for this particular one, right? Next one. Which of the following statement about various type of audit undertaken by bank are correct? Now this is something the last area which we have discussed, the other type of one. So you can, I hope you guys can feel that 100% coverage concept as well as MCQs. Though we have more questions. Revenue audit is conducted primarily at small branches. No, it is usually at bigger branches. Identify fraudulent financial activities and all. So this is wrong. Stock and receivable audit is typically assigned to qualified professionals such as chartered accountant and all. Forensic audit aim to determine whether fraud has occurred and identify the individual responsibilities. Yes, 2 and 3 B will be right answer for this particular one. Next one. Which of the following audit conducted to examine the efficiency of bank operational performance? So it is around the management audit. How effectively we are using the organizational or the branch resources. So that generally comes under the management audits, right? Next one. In the context of bank audit, what is the primary objective of statutory audit? So to ensure that bank is following its internal policies, to verify that bank financial statement are true and fair and comply with the regulatory requirement. Statutory audit, section 30, subsection 1 of BR Act. So this is something related to this. B will be right answer for this particular one. Correct? Next one. The account and balance sheet are prepared under section 29 along with the auditor's report section 30 have to be published in newspaper within 6 months from the end of the period to this. Okay? When it comes to a report to RBI within 3 months or 90 days, when it comes to like the banks, companies after the statutory audits and all, they need to publish those particular documents, means your balance sheet and profit and loss account in some these financial jargon newspapers and all, especially or mandatorily where your headquarter is located. Like so, this is within 6 months. But when it comes to report to RBI, it is within 3 months. These things are generally part of your next unit. We'll be discussing all these particular one in detail. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the banking company submission? This we have also discussed. 3 months and 3 copies. So option B, banking company submit 3 copies of balance sheet and profit and loss account along with the auditor's report within 3 months of the closure of accounting period, which is 31st March, right? So this is the one. Next one. The balance sheet and profit and loss account of a banking company has to be audited as stipulated under this. So answer is section 30B. Just now we gone through this one. RBI is empowered under section dash of the RBI BR Act to order special audit section 30 subsection 1B. So this is section 30 subsection 1B, and even the cost of this particular audit is conducted by or borne by the bank itself. So like let's say if RBI is they have some sort of question about some banks or doubts about the bank or a special section of that particular bank, so they can conduct this particular research, right? So this is all about your unit number 11, audits and inspections. Okay, you do not need more than that. This is sufficient to handle your exam question and all. Now I'll be like in our second set we'll be discussing number of questions. Okay, so I'm preparing 20-25 questions based on every subtopic from every unit. Okay, so you'll have like one unit you'll be practicing 20-25 questions. That is means like you will be having a great experience and you will be able to recall and revise these particular things. So my only suggestion is ki, like whatever content I'm releasing on a regular basis, please do consume that particular one. So and believe me, by the like within 1 month you'll be ready for this particular examination. All right guys, so this is it from my side. Thank you for joining the session, thank you for watching the session. Now I'll see you tomorrow at same time, and we will be doing one session around the AFM module B, which is introduction session including PYQs of all the units which are generally part of that particular one. All right, so this is it. Bye bye, take care all, have a nice day. Thank you.